You've been sold a myth that millionaire status is a high IQ puzzle, a lucky break, or a secret playbook guarded behind velvet ropes. The truth is less glamorous and much more useful. Most self-made millionaires are not outliers of genius or luck. They are outliers of habit. They do a small number of ordinary things with almost offensive consistency, which lets time and math do the heavy lifting. If you copy those habits without the theatrics and without trying to become a different person, you can change the slope of your financial life dramatically. This isn't a list of hacks or a sermon about suffering. It's a story about 5 simple, repeatable habits that quietly explain why some people's accounts swell while their lives stay calm. Let's start with a hook you'll actually feel by Friday. Imagine waking up to bills that already paid themselves last night, a card that resets every Friday so drift lasts no more than 6 days, investments that bought more of the world's businesses while you slept, and a calendar with 2 protected blocks where you create things other adults can use. Nothing went viral, no one applauded, but you can taste the calm in your coffee. That is what millionaire habits feel like on the inside. Boring, rhythmic, generous to future you, and surprisingly light. The first habit is rhythm over brilliance, the discipline of turning good intentions into scheduled behavior that survives bad days. Millionaires don't try harder. They remove negotiating with themselves. They run life on rails. Their money hits a staging account and moves on a calendar to the places it belongs. A bills lane that handles fixed costs and the predictable irregulars we pretend are surprises. A buffer, what I call the sleep fund, that converts emergencies into errands paid once. An investing lane that buys broad, low-cost funds on payday without waiting for a mood, and a weekly card for groceries and ordinary life that resets each Friday. That choreography means they don't depend on willpower when they're tired or tempted. Rhythm is the invisible exoskeleton under their week. It's how average choices, repeated, beat brilliant choices, sporadic. If you've never felt money on rails, the difference is immediate. Without rails, your brain treats one big account as available, even though it secretly belongs to rent, insurance, that biannual car policy, a dental visit, and a dozen subscriptions you forgot existed. You oscillate between scarcity and splurge. With rails, the decision-making evaporates because the decisions were made on a calm Sunday when the stakes were abstract and your future mattered. Over 12 months, rhythm does something sneaky. It turns you into the kind of person who keeps promises when tired. That identity shift, the quiet pride of a plan that runs, is the multiplier on every other habit. The second habit is automatic ownership, paying your future self first and letting compounding work in the background. Millionaires are relentless about buying productive assets on a schedule. They don't spend their year trying to guess the next hero stock. They own thousands of companies at once through broad, low-fee funds. They reinvest distributions while they're accumulating, and they rebalance on a pair of dates they can't forget, like a birthday and half-birthday. They keep a ballast sleeve of high-quality bonds or cash-like instruments sized to their feelings, not their fantasies, so that when prices fall, they don't smash the sell button. They sandbox speculative urges with a fixed number, so fun never spills into groceries. They treat contributions like rent they pay to future them, on payday, non-negotiable, even if the number is small at first. The habit to copy isn't picking, it's contributing, calmly and forever. People lose years chasing perfect while skipping funded. The millionaire's portfolio looks almost boring on paper. That's by design. Boring survives headlines. Boring keeps you rich. The flourish isn't performance, it's rhythm. Same-day contributions every paycheck, a written 1-page policy about what you own and why, and 2 rebalance dates a year. The result is a machine that grows almost in spite of you, which is exactly the level of genius you can maintain during flu season, a deadline, and a toddler tantrum on the same Tuesday. The third habit is receipts and asks, the practice of making your value visible and tradable. Wealth responds to evidence. Millionaires keep a running list of outcomes they've produced.
dollars saved, revenue created, errors prevented, days shaved off delivery, projects rescued, customers retained. They don't wait for annual reviews to remember what happened. They accumulate proof as they go. Then they ask, respectfully, repeatedly, and with structure. Here's what I delivered. Here's the raise, title, or terms that match those outcomes. If that isn't possible now, what would make it possible and on what timeline? This same habit lowers costs. I've been a customer for 3 years with on-time payments. Can we review my rate? This isn't about confrontation, it's about clarity. Most households try to get rich by cutting lattes while never asking for the 20% raise that the receipts already justify. When you adopt receipts and asks, you become the adult other adults like to pay. Inside a company, you send short receipt summaries after important meetings, you publish useful memos, you propose small process fixes that save time, and you document the wins. In business, you quote the same day, put scopes in writing with expiration dates, and ask for reviews with a link that takes 5 seconds to tap. Your price grows because you become easier to trust. Over a decade, those tiny spreads, better salary, better terms, lower fees, compound harder than almost any hack. You're not gaming anything. You're removing friction for everyone involved, including yourself. The fourth habit is survivability before spectacle, protecting the downside so compounding is never interrupted by ruin. Millionaires insure what they can't afford to lose and self-insure the rest. They hold a buffer sized to their reality, less if they have 2 stable incomes and low fixed costs, more if a single earner supports a household or the job is volatile. They match loan terms to asset life and keep leverage sensible. They don't build a career and a portfolio on the same company's stock. They sell grants as they vest to avoid concentration. They set bills early in the month and investments on payday, so one wobble doesn't topple a month. They draft simple wills, update beneficiaries, and keep a document where loved ones can find the basics. Survivability isn't pessimism, it's discipline. Compounding is a diva. It only performs if the stage is stable. This is where people with big income but small wealth tend to fail. They buy the dramatics, houses that swallow the budget, financed status badges, variable rate debts with teaser periods, then ask compounding to outrun chaos. It won't. The millionaire habit is to do unglamorous engineering. Move fixed costs to a clean lane, size your buffer to your biology, choose a portfolio you can carry during ugly headlines, and write down the policy you'll follow when prices drop. The most profitable choice in your financial life may be the decision to be boring when it's loud. The fifth habit is attention hygiene, the way millionaires protect the energy that runs all the other systems. Sleep, focus, and environment design sound like lifestyle fluff until you notice how many expensive decisions happen when you're tired, rushed, and overstimulated. People don't overspend because they're immoral. They overspend because they're exhausted, and the phone handed them convenience at surge pricing. Millionaires push their phones out of the bedroom, bury shopping apps 2 screens deep, and create friction for unhelpful taps. They install 2 10-minute dinners they can cook when they're cooked. They schedule daily movement because anxiety moves out of the body through muscles, not through willpower. They guard a pair of deep work blocks each week where their best work can actually crystallize. They're not monks, they're engineers of their own attention.
If you think attention hygiene has nothing to do with money, look at your last 5 regretted purchases. Late night scroll, stress, and convenience are almost always co-authors. A small shift, a charger in the kitchen, the phone on grayscale, a default grocery list, a pre-packed friction kit with bottle, snack, and charger can save hundreds in leak fees and, more importantly, give you the energy to ask, to ship, to cook, and to keep the investing contribution alive when your mood wouldn't. The millionaire habit isn't purity. It's a built environment that makes the right move easier on Thursday night. Those are the 5 habits in plain language: rhythm over brilliance, automatic ownership, receipts and asks, survivability first, and attention hygiene. The rest of this episode is about how they breathe together in real life, because habits only matter if you can live them without becoming a different person. Let's walk through 3 human-scale portraits to make the picture less abstract. A 29-year-old teacher starts the year with a single account, a sense of "I must be bad with money," and a phone that hums all night. She installs Rails in an afternoon, a staging account for income, a bills lane with fixed costs plus little sinking funds for tires, gifts, and holidays, a sleep fund fed on payday, an investing lane that buys a global stock fund and a small bond sleeve, and a weekly card that resets Friday. She sets rebalancing on her birthday and half-birthday. She writes a 1-page investment policy in her own words and sticks it inside a kitchen cabinet. She charges her phone in the hallway, moves shopping apps off the home screen, and chooses 2 10-minute dinners. She starts keeping a receipt stock with tiny wins at work, less rework after she redesigned a handout, a parent communication template that cut emails in half. In May, she asks for a stipend tied to the outcomes. She gets it. In summer, she launches a Saturday window cleaning route with a simple price book and collects reviews via a QR code on a door hanger. By December, her buffer is real. Her investing lane thickened quietly, her side engine paid for a trip without debt, and her shoulders sit lower. No heroics, just the 5 habits running on a calendar. A 37-year-old software lead has income, but no traction. Every promotion feels like treading water. He writes his 1-page policy, automates contributions, and adds a modest bond sleeve so he won't panic during drawdowns. He sells RSUs as they vest to avoid concentration and puts recurring bills early in the month. He blocks 2 90-minute deep work slots a week and uses them to design internal tooling that cuts a release cycle by 2 days. He captures those receipts and negotiates for a title change and scope expansion. He doesn't obsess over picking funds, he obsesses over never missing the contribution. He starts a tiny micro SAS on Tuesdays that solves one ugly export problem for a niche audience and supports it from a checklist. The revenue is humble, but on schedule. He sleeps better because his phone sleeps in the kitchen. 2 years later, his net worth doubled, half from contributions that never missed, half from a pay bump he earned with receipts. The story isn't genius, it's 5 habits, boring by design. A 48-year-old caregiver thought wealth was not for now. She downshifts housing to free cash flow and insures like a grown-up. She builds a 4-month buffer and sets bills at the start of each month. She opens a simple retirement account and buys broad funds on payday. She drafts wills and updates beneficiaries for her parents and keeps a paper with account locations where someone can find it. She keeps a small engine of side income by doing basic bookkeeping for 3 trades businesses with clean scopes and a checklist they love. She walks most days and protects a weekly hour from money logistics and life planning. Nothing in her year would inspire a viral post. Everything in her year would inspire a calmer life. Survivability first, let compounding start for the first time. How do you copy this without getting overwhelmed? Start insultingly small. Write your rails in 1 sentence. On payday, money moves to bills, sleep, investing, and the weekly card. Put it on your calendar. Rename accounts by job so your brain stops lying. Set 1 automatic transfer you know you can keep. Raise it by $5 or $10 a month until you feel it. Draft a 1-page investment policy in your own words, what you buy, how much, when you rebalance, and what you'll do if prices fall 30%. Schedule 2 deep work blocks next week and pick the outcome they'll produce. Create a receipts note and add 1 outcome per week, then ask for value with that evidence in 90 days. Move your phone charger out of the bedroom and choose 2 default dinners. That's the whole starter kit. The magic isn't volume, it's repetition. There are enemies of these habits, and they all sound reasonable in the moment. Novelty will whisper that your system is outdated because someone invented a new acronym. If your rails are working, money leaving, debts shrinking, assets growing, ignore novelty.
Perfection will scold you when you miss a week and tell you to quit. Don't. The millionaire alternative is never miss twice. Secrecy will keep you from talking to a partner. Have a 10-minute weekly check-in and treat money as logistics, not a confession. Comparison will shove strangers' highlights at you. Design a smaller life you can love and fund, not a larger life you can fear and fake. Attention leaks will try to buy your focus with bright red badges. Bury them and give your best hours to the blocks that change price. None of this requires a personality transplant. It requires a calendar and a handful of rules written by a calm version of you that stressed you can obey. You might still wonder, are these habits really the reason for their wealth? Wouldn't a brilliant investment or a perfect company do more? Every fortune has particulars, but the pattern underneath looks like this. Rhythm turns an intention into a pipeline. Automatic ownership turns a pipeline into assets. Receipts and asks make each hour pricier and each bill lighter. Survivability keeps the game going when life isn't fair. Attention hygiene keeps the engine from overheating. People mistake outcomes for causes. They see the house, the portfolio, the business, and miss the 5 habits that made those possible in a messy life. Copy the habits and you'll like your odds, even if your context is different. There's a closing ritual worth doing tonight. Grab a notepad or a notes app and write 5 lines, each beginning with "I will" and ending with a scheduled behavior. I will route my next paycheck to a staging account and run 4 transfers. I will buy a broad, low-fee fund on payday and rebalance on my birthday and half-birthday. I will keep 1 receipts note and add 1 outcome every week, then ask for value with that evidence in 90 days. I will move bills to the first week, set a sleep fund target, and adjust insurance to match reality. I will put my phone to charge in another room, pick 2 default dinners, and protect 2 deep work blocks each week. Put those 5 lines on your calendar before you stand up. You don't need to fix your whole life. You need to run these 5 habits long enough for compounding to notice you. One morning, months from now, you'll make coffee and realize the quiet miracle already happened. Bills paid last night. The weekly card resets today. Your investment bought while you slept. Your receipts note has enough to make an honest ask. Your calendar has room for 2 hours of work that actually raises your price. The calm in that kitchen is the answer to the question in this title. Millionaires aren't magicians. They are ordinary people who welded 5 simple habits to a calendar and let time do what time does. Copy that, and your accounts and your shoulders will tell you the story long before anyone online notices.